Listen to me, child. Breathe once, slowly. Let the weight you carry settle for a moment on the ground where it belongs. I am with you. Before you read another line, before your heart races and your mind leaps to the worst places, know this: I see the whole thread of your life, every small kindness, every secret fear, every tremor of courage you've hidden even from yourself. I am nearer than your next breath. I am not distant. I am not indifferent. I am here, holding the map of your safety in my hand. You have opened this message. That act alone is important. It is not trivial. It is a movement toward light. There is power in attention. There is protection in the simplest, most human acts: to read, to listen, to hold still, to open your eyes when the world would rather keep them closed. Suppose someone plotted to take what is most precious to you, your freedom, your presence, your child, your neighbor, your very life. Hear me now, that plot will fail. Not because of magic, not because of empty words, but because attention invites help, because truth dismantles schemes built on silence, because courage calls the darkness to account. Do not let fear be your prison. Fear wants to speak first and loudest. It will tell you there is nothing you can do, that you must hide and freeze. But fear lies. You are not alone. Reach. Speak. Name the danger. Tell someone whose hands will steady yours, a trusted friend, a neighbor, an authority, someone with the power to act and the willingness to care. Words are not powerless. They are chains that bind cowardice and free courage. When you say aloud what is happening or what you suspect, you multiply protection. You draw helpers across the threshold of your life. You call into being a community of watchers. If someone is thinking of harming you or another, the very imagining of their plan is also a kind of notice. It is not a sentence, it is a chance to change the story. The human heart can be a battered thing, and sometimes people make terrible choices out of desperation, rage, or delusion. But no act is inevitable. Every moment contains the possibility of choosing differently. If you are on the receiving end of someone else's danger, do not meet cunning with isolation. Use the simplest tools of survival: make noise, leave doors open, keep your phone charged and within reach, vary your routines, let others know where you are going and when you will return. These are practical acts, and practical acts are prayers made visible. Remember also the power of witnesses. A plotted crime thrives on secrecy. When the light of a single witness falls across the plan, it begins to crumble. Tell someone you trust about the suspicious pattern, the strange messages, the feeling in your gut. Keep records, dates, times, descriptions. These are not petty obsessions, they are evidence that saves lives. If you have physical items, a threatening message, a photo, a vehicle plate, give them to someone who can help, a lawyer, a police officer, a counselor. There is no shame in asking for protection. Protection is not a prize for the brave alone, it is a right for every human being. If you are the one who made a choice you regret, who considered a path that would harm another, stop. Turn. Repair. The world needs the work of repair more than the work of punishment. Go to someone who can guide you toward restitution. Confess the fear that pushed you, the emptiness that tempted you, the anger that disguised itself as righteousness. There are hands ready to help you find another way. A life rebuilt on humility and action benefits everyone. Turn and find a life without harm. Do not forget that your voice matters in small ways that ripple into great change. If you see a person being watched, followed, or manipulated, step in with presence. Offer the kind of attention that interrupts a predator's slide toward violence. Ask a simple question, offer to walk with them, hand them your phone to make a call. Sometimes what looks like a small, awkward interference is exactly the intervention that collapses a plot. Your kindness can be a shield. Your willingness to witness, to be seen, is contagious. When a community learns to watch out for one another, planned harm loses its ground. Listen to signs of manipulation. People who plan kidnapping often use charm that feels like flattery, or they create scenarios that produce dependency. If you notice someone isolating a person from friends or family, insisting on secrecy, or gradually eroding boundaries by testing them again and again, take those behaviors seriously. Boundaries are the skin of the soul. They protect what is delicate and precious. Teach boundaries to the children you love. Teach them to say no loudly and clearly. Teach them that no adult has the right to demand secrets. Make check-ins with your loved ones a routine that cannot be avoided. Let them know in advance what to do if someone behaves oddly. Run to the nearest adult, call a trusted contact, make noise. Training is not fear, it is preparation. Preparation becomes courage when the moment comes. If the danger feels imminent, move to safety now. Safety has many faces. It can be as simple as walking into a populated place, stepping into a store, turning on lights, calling out for help. Safety can be a neighbor's living room, a police station, or an emergency helpline. If you are with someone who is scared, hold them. Speak calmly, and make a plan aloud. Where will you go? Who will you call? What will you say when an officer arrives? Clarity is a lifeline. Do not let panic guide your choices. Breathe together. Name one small next step and take it. Momentum, however small, flips the script from victim to survivor. Do not let shame silence you. Shame is a thief that steals the story before it begins. It will whisper that you asked for trouble, that you somehow deserve the attention of a predator. These lies are cruel and false. Harm is never the fault of the harmed. If you have been followed, pressured, or frightened, your first responsibility is to your safety, and your second is to your truth. Speak it. It will feel heavy to carry alone. Let it be shared. Let it be witnessed. Let it be met with firm action. If you are a guardian, a parent, an older sibling, a teacher, or a friend, take the lead. Your calm becomes contagious. Children watch more than they listen. Model clear boundaries. Show them how to use their voice. Practice scenarios with them in a way that is age-appropriate and empowering. If someone makes you feel uncomfortable, say, "No. Stop. I will tell my parent." Teach them their full name, address, and a trusted adult's number. Teach them that a safe adult will never force them to keep a secret about their body. It is not enough to tell children to be careful. We must change the structures of care so that they are always surrounded by adults who watch, who ask, who refuse the temptation to look away. If you are a leader in your community, in a church, a school, a workplace, or a neighborhood, build systems that make it hard for a plot to take root. That means transparency in programs, background checks where appropriate, clear reporting lines, and consequences for boundary violations. It means creating cultures where asking the awkward question is standard practice. It means lighting the dark corners where predators like to linger by instituting check-ins and safety protocols. A system that prioritizes dignity and safety does not merely respond to harm, it makes harm hard to enact. Do not mistake vigilance for paranoia. Vigilance is a practice of love. It is the intentional refusal to let convenience override safety. It is the friend who walks a neighbor to their door at night, the family that has a group chat for check-ins, the church that assigns sober adults to supervise outings. These measures are not fear, they are fortifications of care. When we invest time in such practices, we tell would-be exploiters that the community will not allow them a quiet corridor to act. There is also a resource that many forget in moments of terror: the law. Police, emergency services, restraining orders, these are not bureaucracies to be feared, they are tools created to protect the vulnerable. Use them. Call emergency services if a threat is immediate. If someone is stalking or harassing, document the behavior, and seek a legal order if necessary. Lawyers and victim advocates exist to translate pain into protection. Advocate for survivors, and support organizations that offer shelter, counseling, and legal aid. A society that shelters its weakest members is a society that will deter those who pray. If you feel alone because your words did not find a helpful ear the first time, try again. Systems fail, people are imperfect, but persistence is a form of strength. If a first authority does not take your voice seriously, consult another. Record your interactions. Ask for a victim advocate. If you are in a place where official channels are unresponsive, lean on community resources, shelters, crisis lines, faith leaders bound to help. The world is messy, but there are parts of it built to carry the burden you bring. To the hearts that tremble with rage or with ideas of violent retribution, there is a better road. Revenge does not bring back what was taken, and it often poisons the avenger. Find a legal, constructive, and restorative way to seek justice. Support the healing of those harmed, and engage in actions that reduce the chances of future harm, education, community patrols, policy change. Channel righteous anger into structures that protect rather than into acts that escalate. The courage to rebuild is stronger than the courage to destroy. Hear me when I say, small acts add up. A single person speaking up, a single neighbor refusing to ignore strange behavior, a single officer acting swiftly, these sum to a net of protection that can stop a well-laid plan in its tracks. Your presence is not incidental. Your attention matters. When you walk out into the world, carry the lamp of your conscious will, look up, keep your head clear, and let your intuition speak. Instincts are old tools in your human toolbox, honor them. And when the immediate danger is past, when the sirens fade and the hands that held you let go, tend to the care you need. Trauma is real. It leaves marks that must be tended with tenderness. Seek counseling, rest, and safe company. Allow yourself to grieve what you feared, and also to celebrate that you survived. Healing is not linear. It will be uneven and sometimes slow. But it is possible. Community is medicine. Stories of survival, told and heard, stitch the world back together. For those who choose to protect others, thank you. Your vigilance, your refusal to look away, your willingness to intervene with kindness and firmness, these are holy acts. You are a living shield. Keep learning. Keep practicing compassionate boundaries. Keep being the person who can be counted on in the dark. The world needs you. And for everyone reading this, whether you believe these words to be from a divine whisper or from the small courage in the chest of another human, take this as a covenant: we will not let silence give cover to a plot. We will speak. We will document. We will watch. We will intervene. We will call the authorities. We will offer shelter. We will teach. We will legislate. We will heal. We will make it so that the very thought of such a plan finds no soil to take root in. If you are terrified right now, do the next right thing. Find a phone. Type a name into your contacts. Send a short message: I need help. If you can, dial emergency services. If you cannot speak, call and leave the line open. Sometimes the operators can triangulate and help. If you are with someone who is watching you, pretend they are all the time. Be alert, make eye contact with passers-by, move toward populated places, and keep your phone in your hand. The ordinary world, people, light, witnesses, is your ally. Finally, remember this: plans to harm prosper in the dark because they depend on isolation. Your opening of this message was a light. Every time the light reaches another person, the plan weakens. Share this message with someone you trust. Not as panic, but as an offering of solidarity. Let it be a ritual. When we are afraid, we do something courageous together. We name what scares us. We call for help. We gather our people. You are not small. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. Let your breath be a prayer, your voice a defense, your presence a force. Walk into the day knowing that you belong to a vast company of others who have chosen to be awake and to protect. The plot fails because we refuse to let it succeed. The plot fails because light travels faster than fear. The plot fails because we are human and we act like it, together, loudly, lovingly, and without apology. Go now. Take one step. Tell one person. Make one plan. Each step is a stone across the river. Each stone is enough. And so the message continues, a whisper turning into a steady voice, like the sound of wind through trees that will not bow to the storm. Listen closely, child of the living breath. The danger you fear does not have the final word. Every story of darkness ends when someone dares to bring a candle near. You are that candle now. Do not think your light is too small. In a pitch-black room, even the tiniest flame is a revelation. What you hold inside you is not frailty, it is the power that turns night into morning. Let me tell you something true. Every time you choose compassion over fear, every time you choose honesty over silence, every time you speak when a lie would be easier, the whole world tilts a little closer to safety. Violence begins in secrecy, but protection begins in connection. It is the simplest and hardest thing, to stay open when you want to shut down, to reach out when you want to withdraw. But that reaching is salvation. When you speak to another person and say, "I am afraid," you call the divine into the room. When you hear another say the same and you answer, "You are not alone," you become the hands of protection yourself. Think of how many lives have been saved by a single glance that noticed, a single stranger who said, "Are you okay?" Think of how many hearts have been rescued by a word of kindness that arrived just before despair could win. The world is still heavy with cruelty, but it is also thick with quiet, daily miracles. Somewhere, right now, someone is being kept safe because another person chose to care. Somewhere, right now, a person who planned to harm another has been interrupted by conscience, by exposure, by love. It happens. It happens more often than we see. So breathe again. Breathe deeper this time. With every breath, you draw strength from a power far older than fear. You are not a random flicker in the dark. You were made with intention. There is a reason your life continues, why your story has not ended. You were meant to witness, to guard, to comfort, to build. This is not punishment, it is calling. When you open your eyes each morning, you participate in a design far greater than any scheme of violence or deceit. The divine breath still fills the air, still courses through your blood, still whispers, "Stand. Move. Speak." If danger still circles you, do not give it your silence. Let the world know where you stand. Let your community see you. If your home feels unsafe, step into a safer place, a friend's house, a public space, a shelter, a station. If someone manipulates or threatens you, remember that they depend on your quiet. Break it. Reach for your phone, your neighbor, your faith leader, your local authority. Let them know the truth, even if your voice shakes. Especially if it shakes. Truth told in trembling tones is still truth, and truth always works like dawn. And if you are weary, so tired that you cannot imagine hope returning, hold on. The night is long, but no night lasts forever. Rest if you must. Cry if you need to. Let yourself feel the full weight of your pain, but do not let it convince you that it is the only reality. Somewhere, help is already on the way. Somewhere, Another person is praying for you without knowing your name. Somewhere, someone who loves justice is making a choice that will ripple toward you like a promise kept. Hope travels faster than despair. You may not see it yet, but it is moving. Let your life be a prayer in motion. When you walk, walk in awareness. When you speak, speak with care. When you love, love without possession. When you forgive, forgive with boundaries intact. The world does not need perfect saints, it needs people who refuse to let fear dictate their behavior. Your refusal is holy. Every time you choose empathy over apathy, you stand in the lineage of those who have saved lives without ever knowing it. You join the invisible army of protectors who guard the fragile edges of the human family. And remember this: if you ever find yourself at the edge of despair, call out, not just in the silence of your heart, but aloud, with your whole being. Whether you believe in God, or simply in the quiet force of goodness, call. Say, "Help me." The universe answers that cry in 1,000 forms: a friend who checks in at the right time, a stranger who offers a ride, a sudden surge of courage you cannot explain. The answer does not always come wrapped in light or thunder. Sometimes it comes disguised as an ordinary moment of grace. If you feel lost, begin again with one act of kindness. Write a message to someone who is hurting. Feed a hungry person. Comfort a frightened child. Every act of goodness strengthens the web that keeps all of us from falling apart. Do not underestimate your ability to change the temperature of a room with gentleness. Do not underestimate the strength that comes from telling the truth. You are not powerless. You are a vessel of presence, and presence itself is protection. When you walk into danger and emerge alive, when you witness evil and choose not to become it, when you look fear in the face and say, "You do not own me," you participate in creation. That is what it means to be divine, not to escape the world, but to heal it from within. You do this every time you protect a life, every time you interrupt harm, every time you forgive yourself enough to keep going. So now, take a deep breath again. Feel the pulse under your skin. It is proof that you are still here, still chosen, still protected. The plot fails because you read these words, because you listened, because you are awake. And when the next whisper of fear tries to tell you you're helpless, answer with the truth: I am not alone. I am watched over. I am capable. I am loved. Say it until you believe it. Then go into the world and act like it's true, because it is.